Welcome back to the show, everyone. Here to discuss a senior's guide to retirement. I've got Jerry Schlutzwitz with me from Pacific Financial Planners. Hi, Jerry.
Hi, how you doing, Bree?
I'm good. How are you?
Great. Thank you for having me again.
Oh, always a pleasure. Wonderful to have you. I always learn so much from you. I'm sure our viewers do as well. This month, you're talking about a senior's guide to retirement. We all know how important that is. What happens when the paychecks stop coming in, Jerry?
Yeah, it's dramatic. That's why people need some sort of a guide or some sort of an outline, because this is not taught in school. Financial planning isn't taught. And many times if you go to workshops or seminars, there's somebody trying to sell you, a product or a service. So they're not doing true financial planning either. So when you retire and your job paycheck stops coming in, the bills don't stop. And because the bills don't stop, you've got to be in a situation where you've got to figure out a way to pay for it. And then you start wondering, if you're draining down your resources to pay your bills, how long will your money last?
That's a scary situation to find yourself in.
Yeah, I think a lot of reasons people keep part-time jobs in retirement is they're just so uncertain about their financial future. And many people, don't have to be if they just knew how to plan for it correctly.
All right. Well, let's talk about solid retirement income strategies. What do those look like?
Well, when you're young, you want to grow your money. Growth is most important. But when you retire and you give up that paycheck, you've got to decide what's more important, a big gain or not losing big. And you don't want to lose a big amount of money. So safety becomes really the priority out there. Is you've got to make sure that you've got a plan for principal protection, and for at least a chunk. I ask people all the time who come to meet me, do you want any of your money guaranteed, like none of it, all of it, or some of it? And most people, when they're retired, want some of their money at the very least insured and fully protected. Then it's not about growth anymore. Again, it's about income. How can I pay my bills? And is it contractual income versus non-contractual income? How safe is that income? How do I know I'm going to get it? And then growth, yes, you do need some, but that's not the emphasis. That's the small part to keep up with inflation.
Absolutely. Have you seen that people use stocks or mutual funds as a means of retirement or funding their retirement? And if so, what are the drawbacks of that?
Well, again, using stocks and some funds for retirement for some of your money could be a good idea, but far too many people, Bree, use it for all their money. And I see it all the time where people have 80, 85% of their money in the stock and bond market, and those are non-contractually guaranteed. And while we've been in a great environment, it's not good enough for someone in their 60s, 70s, 80s to take that kind of risk with. And many times they should reduce their exposure to the markets.
Because, like you just said, the markets are so unpredictable. So what is the best approach for retirees?
Well, having a plan. And that plan needs to, again, you have to first identify how much money you need to live on month to month in retirement. It's not that hard to calculate. I can help anyone calculate that number, and I don't charge for that. But once you know what your number for monthly income is, expenses, then how much you get in Social Security, do you get pensions, where's your resources of money? Is it rental property, et cetera? Or are you drawing from your investments? So if you're drawing from your investments, how much of that cost is covered through the income as opposed to selling shares and selling growth? So that's, again, goes to that safety, income, with growth being last. So you should rely less on the market. So, because it is unpredictable, and the future is unpredictable. People think that investing is just about their, stocks or bonds.
Right.
What about if something comes along with your health, or your spouse's health, or cognitive issues? Different things happen as you change. So you've got to be prepared for several different outcomes. It's not like I can predict the future, they can, but I can prepare you for various outcomes, and a lot of people just don't think that that's possible. But it truly is.
Is it ever too late? Are people ever, they kind of look at themselves and say, well, I'm too old. There's no point in me starting now.
You know, it's never too late to make sure that you have peace of mind when it comes to your money. Okay, so if you've got uncertainty, if you're unsure, then you're 10, 15, 20 years into retirement. Get a review. Get a set of eyes to look at your financial situation. Not to sell you a bond or annuity or mutual fund, but to look at your financial plan and see how solid it is, because we don't know how long we're going to live. I mean, people are living to 100 and beyond, much, much greater numbers than ever before. Are you prepared? Even if you're 80, 85 years old? I don't know.
And I would imagine because of people, when they don't know where they really stand with their financial situation, that they're going to be cutting back and compromising on the things that they love and enjoy when they may not have to.
Exactly correct, Bree. There are many people who underlive the lifestyle that they could afford out of fear, okay? I've seen it here in the village, people giving up opportunities where they have had more than enough to do some of the things they want. So I'm kind of act as a cheerleader in some of those situations and try to explain to them how they can afford to do more. Now, some people are just satisfied with their lifestyle, and that's great. There's nothing wrong with that. And once in a while, generally on the younger side, generally more men, you see them outliving their lifestyle that they can afford, and I have to caution those people as well. But
You got to call it like you see it, right?
I do. I don't make everybody happy, but I tell them the truth.
But isn't that why they trust you?
Well, they should, because I've been doing this almost 40 years, and again, it's not just selling stocks and bonds, it's true financial planning. It's a much different deal. There are plenty of us out there that are true financial planners that'll look at your holistic approach to everything and call it like it is and tell you how you see it. And then you could take that information, do whatever you want with it. But a lot of people, when they see the real behind the scenes of how their lifestyle is, if they're going to run out of money or whatever it is, or that they could live a better lifestyle, they're very grateful, and we work with a lot of people for that reason.
They're armed with that knowledge, right? You
Correct.
Can't unknow.
Yeah.
Right?
No, we get it where the client, the prospect, whoever is sitting at my table with no obligation, they understand when they're leaving the office exactly where they sit. I call it like it is.
Quickly, any forecasts for the next year and economics?
It's kind of crazy. The markets were record highs and all that sort of stuff. Gold record high this morning. But it still seems like things are okay, quote unquote, and we're not super out of whack valuations. So I'm still optimistically, but remember, I am very defensive in my approach to investing.
All right. Well, speaking of defensive, you've got a financial forum.
Yeah, it's this Thursday, 3 to 5, Clubhouse 7. No obligation to sign in or say anything, but a lot of people come in and participate. We talk about the senior guide to retirement, a lot of the topics we talked about today, but in much more extensive manner, in a group setting, coffee and cookies, bring a friend.
Sounds wonderful. All right, Jerry. Always a pleasure.
Thank you, Bree.
Thank you for joining me today. Coming up next, Michael will be back with the Democratic Club. Stay with us.